In my recent videos, we've been talking about hair growth, routines, and the small things that make a difference. This is one of them because sometimes your routine isn't the problem. It's the order in which you're applying your products in. There are two common methods you've probably heard of, the LOC method and the LCO method. In this video, we're going to break down what each method actually does, who it works best for, and even when to use it depending on the season. If you've ever tried the LOC or LCO methods and thought, this isn't working for me, you might not be doing it wrong. You might just be using the wrong version for your hair. So there are two methods, LOC, liquid oil cream, and LCO, liquid cream oil. Same products, just a different order. But that order can completely change how your hair holds moisture. The LOC method is all about locking in moisture. You start with water or a leave-in, then apply oil to help seal that moisture in, and finish with a cream for added hydration and definition. This tends to work best if your hair loses moisture quickly. LCO just flips those last two steps. You go in with your liquid, then your cream, and finish with oil. That way your hair has a chance to absorb moisture first before you seal it in. And that makes a difference if your hair tends to resist moisture. So why would you even use these methods? The goal is to help your hair hold onto moisture longer. For some people, that means less dryness, less frizz, and more consistent results throughout the week. But not everyone needs this. If your hair already stays hydrated with a simple routine, you may not need to layer this much. And to make this work properly, it's important to understand how each product is being used. And one quick clarification, not all oils are used the same way. When we're talking about LOC or LCO, we're talking about sealing oils, not finishing oils. These are usually lightweight oils like argan, grapeseed, or jojoba that help seal in moisture without weighting your hair down. That's different from using a small amount of oil at the end of styling to break your cast or add shine. That step is optional and doesn't replace your moisture layers. Now, if your hair is low porosity, it tends to repel water. So applying oil too early can block moisture from getting in. That's why LCO often works better. If your hair is high porosity, it absorbs moisture quickly but loses it just as fast. So sealing earlier with oil can help lock everything in. That's where LOC usually works better. If you're medium porosity, you can usually do both. It just depends on how your hair feels after styling. A lot of people try the LOC method once and give up, or they copy someone else's routine without realizing their hair behaves differently. But the biggest mistake is this, not understanding where this method fits in your routine. Also, this isn't just about porosity. Your environment and the season matter too. In hotter weather like summer or high humidity, using too many layers like oil and cream can weigh your hair down or cause it to expand. That's when a simpler routine like leave-in plus gel often work better. In colder weather or drier conditions, your hair tends to lose moisture faster. So using methods like LOC with heavier layers can help your hair stay hydrated longer. So it's not just about choosing one method and sticking to it forever. It's about adjusting based on how your hair behaves in different conditions. So depending on the time of year, you might find yourself switching between both methods. The LOC or LCO method usually happens after you wash and condition your hair. So either liquid oil cream or liquid cream oil. And then after that, you can go in with your styler, like a gel or a mousse, to hold everything in place. This method is not meant to replace your entire routine. It's just how you layer moisture before styling. On refresh days, you don't need to repeat the full method. Otherwise, you'll start to get buildup. Instead, you can lightly reapply water and maybe one product from your wash day routine to bring your curls back. If you're not sure which one works for you, try LOC on one wash day and LCO on another. Then pay attention to how your hair feels once it dries, how long it stays hydrated, and whether it starts to feel heavy or coated. Your hair will make it obvious which one it prefers. Also, this method isn't about adding more products. It's about using the right order with what you already have. Because sometimes it's not the product, it's how you're layering it. At the end of the day, this is just one way to structure your routine. You don't have to use LOC or LCO for your hair to be healthy. But if your hair struggles to stay hydrated or your results don't last, this is something worth trying. If you want a full breakdown of how to use the LOC method step by step, plus product ideas, I link my full guide in the description box below. And if you want to actually see how I put routines together and save product combinations, I also share those on Pinterest. I'll link that below as well. And I'm curious, have you tried the LOC or LCO methods before? Which one worked better for you?